All right. Hey dudes, we are on Loud TV with Mortiis.
Hey.
Yeah, of course you know this guy because it's a...
Well, nobody knows me now without the mask.
Without the mask?
I could be fucking anybody now.
I can recognize you. Of course you are on tour with Comic Christ. This is not the first time, yeah?
Touring with Comic Christ?
Yeah.
No, this is the first time we toured with Comic Christ.
But you know these guys for a long time now?
Yeah, I mean, I've known Joe for quite a long time now because we toured with Gen Torturers when he was still in the Gen Torturers toured the States with them like about 5 years ago. Andy, I've known... Get the fuck out. Rockstar moment. Andy, I've known a few years, you know, I mean, he used to live in Fredrikstad. I moved into Fredrikstad, I guess, just to see him move out of it or something. I'm not quite sure. Turned out, like, we actually live on the same street. I had no idea. I just bought a house there, like, in 2006. And turns out Stefan Groth from Appleton Berserk lives down the street. And then it turns out that Andy used to live a little bit further down the same street. It's like, what the fuck? The world just got really small.
Yeah. Norway is small place.
Yeah, it's not that small. It's more than one street, you know. But it was like, what the hell just happened here? But that was kind of cool, you know. So, and we move in the same circles, you know, and everything. So we meet now and then. And yeah, I've known him a few years. Yeah. This is the first time we toured together.
All right.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about this tour? Because of course both bands are different, quite different. But
yeah, I mean, you know, musically it is, and then again it's not. I mean, you know, because we've done like 12 shows together now. I'm hearing a lot of similarities at the same time. I mean, we just have to use like slightly different elements. I mean, we put a lot of guitar and shit like that into it. But like before the tour, you know, when I was asked to make like a statement regarding actually that, I just basically said, you know. We have a lot of the same feelings about things, I think, like the way that we express ourselves in a very energetic way on stage and all that stuff. There's a lot of sort of red lines running through it. So I feel like we have a lot of similarities. We hate the same stuff. And we express ourselves, you know, they're a very energetic live band, and I like to think that we are too, and just, you know, the way that we pour our frustrations out onto the world is, I see a lot of similarities right there. I mean, that's my opinion. People might not think that, but you know.
And the common point also is that, of course, you come from the metal scene.
Yeah, that is my background.
Yeah, background. Yeah. Maybe you were more in black metal and
yeah, I mean, I think
in the dark days.
Yeah, in the dark days. They're still dark, man. Just a different kind of darkness now. What was I gonna say? And
of course, Andy was more.
He was probably like way deeper into the electronic world and everything, and we were just sitting up on the bus really late until this early this morning. Me and Levi and Andy, and just talking about it. It turns out like he's pretty knowledgeable. I mean, we knew a lot of the same people, you know, in the black metal scene and vice versa. You know, I knew at least a few of those electronic people and a lot of the weird artists out there. We have a lot of common ground there. Like, oh, you know him? Yeah, I know him too. You know. Like, that was fucking 20 years ago. Yeah, fuck, we're getting old, you know. So there's a lot of common ground, man.
How do you analyze? Because, you know, Norway is it was really famous for bad people in the black metal scene.
Bad people.
Yeah, but you know, electronic music is so important, and especially, you know, guys from the black metal and the metal scene, you know. Yeah. If you take, of course, Comic Christ, which is not really metal, but you know, it's maybe the metal.
Well, they have a lot of this. They have a very sort of metal/rock attitude in the way that they perform their stuff. It reminds me of a rock show. It doesn't remind me a lot of like an electronica show or anything like that, where people stand there with their laptops and their fucking ties and whatever. You know, it's not like that at all. It's, in that sense, I mean, we're very, as I just said, we're really similar in that way. You know?
And so, what about all these bands that I used to enjoy a lot, like The Covenant, of course, which is of course electronic also, which maybe was more metal, but there's also God Minister. Yeah, a great Norwegian band that I discovered on the Samel tour. So, is there something special on Norway around this electronic stuff? Is there maybe something that was born maybe 20 years ago?
You mean the mixing of the metal with electronica, or
what about it? You know, this all these great bands that you are with Comic Christ and but Comic Christ is in
I mean,
in the States, but
it's a brainchild of a Norwegian, you know.
yeah. How do you analyze that?
I don't know how to analyze that. I mean, we're just awesome. We're born great.
Yeah.
We're superior. Nah, man, I don't know. It's because we're so secluded up there. We just think differently, man. I mean, I don't know. You know, if we were all born in Germany, maybe we would just be copying someone else because everybody's doing it over there and it's so popular. Maybe, you know. I mean, I live in absolute isolation when it comes to the way I choose to live. I never go out. I don't go to clubs. I don't do anything. I don't go out in town. I don't.
You live in your fjord, or
No, not really like that. But I just don't go out of the house. You know, when I'm home, I'm with my family and
your cats.
My cats and my massive, huge, stupid dog, and my crazy daughter and my studio, and I just sit there and fucking. Blah, blah, blah. I don't even listen to records, man. I mean, it's like it just freaks me out a little bit. I just do what I do, and then whatever is up here, whatever that might be, that's what comes out. And then maybe I don't know if the other guys are like that, but at least it makes you a little bit original, you know. I mean, I steal from people, of course I do, but everybody does it. But
so you live in your ivory tower.
yeah,
You can say that?
yeah, that's where I live. Fucking huge tower. No, I got a normal house with a yard or a garden and a fucking garage and a car and all that crap. You gotta have that now, otherwise you're fucked. But I just don't go out.
So you don't listen to modern music, or what's
No, not
the
so
new
much.
What's the last CD you have bought, or you have
That I bought?
or liked very much, or
I can't remember. I don't buy new music. It's not because I don't want to. It's just because for some reason I just don't. I'm always 10 years behind. I'm always late in realizing, hey, you heard about this band? Oh yeah, they came out like 10 years ago, and I'm like, what? Really? I just heard them now. You know, that's me. I'm always behind. You know, in the 90s I was discovering music from the 70s. In the 2000s I was discovering stuff from the 90s. You know, that's just the way I am. Like, I'm always 10 years behind. You know?
yeah,
Kind of sucks, but
no,
I don't know. I guess
because music is eternal. If you
Of course,
discover
yeah,
a
it's-
great CD 20 years ago,
Yeah.
20 years after, it's nothing.
well, at least I discovered it.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm just weird, I guess.
Let's talk about of course, the Mortiis discography, because the Great Deceiver
Yeah.
has been released. So.
No, actually, that's Perfectly Defect. That was released. The Great Deceiver is still not released. We've been talking about that already for a long time. It's done, about 95% done, because I recently decided that I was going to, for the like 5th time, I was going to go back and
Yeah, I've heard that.
redo some stuff. And there was this one song that I decided I didn't like, and I rewrote it, and so I'm working on that. Then I decided that I didn't like the drums on another song, so we're reprogramming all the drums, and I'm almost done with that.
Too much perfection, or
Yeah, it's like an evil loop now. I mean, I was talking to this studio owner that we worked with a little bit, and he was like, dude, you gotta just get this fucking album out, because you'll never be done. You just gotta let it go sometimes. At one point you just gotta go, okay, let's put this out, because otherwise I'll be fucking, you know, I'll be fiddling with that fucking thing in 5 years too, you know, like 10 years, 15 years. In the end, you're so paranoid about all that music, like, is it good enough? You know, I'm not sure, that you'll just end up never releasing it. You know, we'll let it go, which is kind of dangerous, you know. I don't want to spend the rest of my life working on one fucking record, you know. So I gotta let this thing go soon.
and we have to say that your previous album is you can download it on the internet on the Mortiis website
Mortiis.com for free.
for free. So because you have no more label.
No, we're talking to labels, of course, but I'm not going to sign a deal I'm not happy with. So in the meantime, we figured, you know what? Let's put something out to sort of thank all the kids for staying with us for so long. Because you know, before Perfectly Defect came out, we hadn't had a studio album out in like forever. So I just figured, like, wouldn't it be cool to just give this away? Also, it's a little bit of a fuck you to the labels, the control freaks of the labels and everything. You know, not that I have a. It sounds like I hate labels, which is like not really true.
Because
you know, we need them, but it's like they don't have to fuck us up the ass every time. It's like, I understand that everybody needs to make money, but that goes for us as well. I mean, I'm a human being. I have to fucking eat, you know? I got kids. My daughter needs to eat. She needs diapers. She needs her food and everything. My wife needs to eat, you know? So it's like, come on, we're human beings. I mean, let's work together. This is not all about the label. It's about the label and the artist, you know? It's a joint business. But a lot of them don't give a fuck about that. And that kind of deal, I will never sign again.
But in the past, you got an Earache. You got Earache for more than a decade. So
no. It was like 7 years.
So, okay.
Yeah. Well, maybe 8 years. I'm not sure. It was like 1999 to 2000. No, like 6 years, 7, something like that. It was a long time. It felt. Oh, well, the shackles are off. You know, I'm a free man. That's a good feeling.
So you're looking for a new album now?
You could say that, yeah. I mean, we're talking to quite a few, and we're basically willing to talk to everybody. Well, you know, what have you got? What's your offer? You know, and if the offer is kind of shitty, we go like, sorry, it's not going to happen. You know, done that to quite a few labels. I mean, we've had offers for a good deal of money, but the deal in itself was like, well, there's some money on this table, but there's no future in this deal. So we're like, oh no, fuck it, I'm not gonna take it.
You know that Nuclear Blast is everywhere. You know.
Yeah, I know them.
Of course, every band that is signed now.
Yeah, they probably have too many bands. I guess.
But maybe in your style, no bands. It can be an idea.
Everything's an idea.
Yeah, right. I'd like to explain, you know, to the guys that are watching this video interview the way, because of course you are on the electronic metal scene for years and years, and you have divided your career in parts in eras, as you said. So in which era are we? In the fourth era?
To be honest, man, I'm just slowly letting that die, because I was thinking, like, when we were making all that new music, I was like, well, what should we do with this era thing?
So what was the idea, in fact, at the beginning?
Why did I do it?
And
like that?
Why 4 eras? And because, you know, some...
Well, I'm not sure if there are 4. I just don't know. I just don't know anymore. I'm like, why did I even fucking create that thing in the first place? It's a curse on me now. The reason, actually, why we did that in the beginning was the original Mortiis was like a solo project, right? Like, did a bunch of records with it, and the music was more or less instrumental, or with choirs and stuff like that. It's just a little bit of lyrics, not very much, but just a few. And the music was just, you know, it was, in the beginning it was like sort of medieval inspired. Then it sort of turned into slightly more bombastic, soundtracky almost, you know, on the Stargate album. And then The Smell of Rain came out a few years after that, and the music was just totally different. That was a personal decision I made, because I was just about to self-destruct. I mean, I was getting so depressed. And that sounds like, you know, I don't want to sit here and bitch and moan, you know, but I was actually getting really depressed, and I didn't have any faith in what I was doing. I thought everything I did sucked, and I still think some of the old stuff kind of sucks. But, you know, it is what it is. You know, I respect it. It's a snapshot of who I was at the time, so I stand behind it. But that doesn't mean that I like all of it. But what happened was, when The Smell of Rain came out, when I was making the music, I guess, I was like, man, this is really different. I think I need to tell people, give them some kind of sign, you know, something to let them know before they buy the record that you're not buying a typical Mortiis record now. This is something else, you know. So I thought that the old fans really deserved to, what's the word? For lack of a better expression, a little warning, you know. So
this is not the Mortiis you have listened to.
This is not what you might be expecting. This is different. So I decided, like, well, what can I do? Okay, let me call it Era 2. That's a sign, you know. That kind of, to me, the logic was that would tell people that something has changed. This is a new era. At the time, I think that was a good idea, because, you know, it covered my ass a little bit. I thought, you know, like, I wouldn't get a lot of shit from people. I mean, I did, but it sold like twice as much as the old stuff, so I was happy. And I found new faith in music and everything. So personally, it was the best decision I ever made. But to change my music. Then The Grudge comes out, which is, again, we go deeper into that whole industrial, noisy, layered, sampled sound, and I'm like, well, this is quite different again from The Smell of Rain, so I've called it Era 3. So now I'm sitting here thinking, fuck, Era 4, this is getting really cheesy now. This is getting kind of corny. So I'm just ignoring it. I'm just not even bringing it up. Just thank you for bringing that up. So if people want to call it Era 4, they go ahead and do it.
Okay, this is only Mortiis, alright?
Yeah.
Just the Mortiis era.
It's just Mortiis in 2011.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, as you told, you were maybe you felt alone in the past, and now we can say that Mortiis, you know, we can see you without the mask,
Yeah.
and with the other band, with the other members.
Yeah, I mean,
photos.
they've been with us for a long time now. I mean, the thing is, like, between records, we actually did a lot of touring and music writing and everything. So a lot of stuff has happened between the albums. It's not like I've been sitting on my ass. I mean, I had, if you count Perfectly Defect, that's currently only up there as a download. It will also be released as a physical record. There's like 3 new Mortiis albums coming. You know?
So does Mortiis is a real band with
Yeah, sure, man. Absolutely. I gotta say that now because they're just kidding.
yeah, I know this. So you still write everything in the...
I mean, I basically write it. Yeah. I mean, we do a lot of, me and Levy, who's just at the side. You can't see him in the screen, but he just stole all the beers. We collaborate quite a lot, especially mostly on like sonic mayhem, you know, like just creating all kinds of crazy noises. So then I usually put it all together to some kind of coherent song. So like in terms of like arrangements and basic songwriting, then yeah, that's pretty much what I do. On my own, and then they usually bring in like, hey, you know, let's put something fucking crazy on top of this, and you know, stuff like that.
And you have concentrated on Mortiis for years, because in the past you used to have other bands, you used to have a record label, and you stopped everything.
I pretty much stopped. I mean, all the other projects were also solo projects, but I pretty much stopped all of those and the label because everything was taking up so much time, and I started feeling like, well, Mortiis is starting to suck now because I never have time to focus on it, especially with the label. You know, I was spending like all day.
There's a beer, man. There's a beer.
Oh, there's a beer there. That's our
My beer. Where's my beer? You stole my beer. Sorry.
Did somebody steal your beer?
No, okay. Yeah, but there is a beer.
Oh, on the chair, man. Yeah.
All right.
All right. Happy, Pappy?
Yeah. Okay, we cut, and now let's go. What about Mortiis?
Yeah, what about him? Fuck him. Where did he go? I don't know. Where was I? I just got totally off track now.
No, you were on your record label. It was.
Oh yeah. It was taking so much time. I found myself spending like 10 hours a day just faxing distributors and mailers that wouldn't pay their bills. And I'm thinking like, fuck this, man. I mean, I didn't start music because I want to sit here and fucking chase people in Brazil that don't want to pay me. You know, I've sent them a bunch of records, and they were, you know, 6 months later they still haven't paid their invoice. And it's like, oh fuck, man, I lost so much money on people like that. I mean, it was kind of cool to do it because I had all this creative freedom. I started that label simply because I thought the other labels that I had worked with were kind of failing me in terms of putting out the cool vinyl I wanted them to do, and they were like, we can't do it. I'm like, sure we can. And I proved it. I did it all the time with my own label. It's like, what's the fucking problem? You're just cheap, you know? But in the end, it just turned into a big pain in the ass, really, you know, spending all that time just faxing, because in those days you didn't have email, you know, so you used fax machines. So you had huge phone bills, just faxing people and going like, where's my fucking money? That's no fun, you know? And, you know, it just... But so that is like a bunch of sleepless nights, you know? And I had no time to write music, and I found myself releasing a couple of records that I really didn't like, you know, like, fuck, I spent no time on this, I didn't have time to work on it because I had to deal with assholes. And so I decided, like, you know what, fuck everything else. I'm just going to focus on Mortiis.
Music business, guys, is full of sharks.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a little pond full of really big, hungry sharks. There's a lot of blood and meat floating everywhere. Yeah.
So now you're 100% on Mortiis.
Yeah.
You're of course on Comic Rise tour in Europe.
Yeah.
You were also on the Christian Death tour, but it
Oh,
was
that was a long time
long
ago.
time
Yeah,
ago.
we did a Christian Death tour with them and Godhead.
And
That was a cool
you
tour.
told at that time that you were in no promotion, etc. So
Oh,
you
that's
feel
yeah. I mean, yeah. That's a classic tour curse, really. You know, you get to a venue and it's like nobody's promoted your show, and it's like, what the hell? Why are you paying us to play here if you're not promoting it? You don't want to sell tickets? What the hell's wrong with you? You want to lose money? You know, fuck you. You know. But
So,
that's how it is.
now you're happy with Mortiis, and what is the thing in 2011 for you?
Well, obviously there's this tour. Then we're putting out Perfectly Defect as a physical album a little later on, and we might be doing some more touring in the summer, but I'm not sure yet. Then of course we've been talking about getting Great Deceiver out towards the end of the year, or in the fall or something. I'm not sure yet, but
Where,
it depends
in
on
the
a few
States
things.
or
Well, I wouldn't know. I mean, hopefully everywhere. I don't know. It's really down to my management. You know, as soon as they can nail a fucking proper record deal. I mean, I'm so used to just saying no now to all the deals. I'm like, no, I'm not going to sign it. It's like, I'm not even sure if I want to sign anything away because I've gotten so cynical. I mean, I've told my manager so many times, like, you know what? I would rather put The Great Deceiver on a shelf and quit music and tell everybody to go fuck themselves and never release it instead of giving it to some fucking greedy motherfucking peg on the label. I mean, I mean it. I'd rather do that. I'd rather put all those years of work and all the money that we put into it, all the fucking blood, sweat, and tears, I would rather put it in the attic. You know, there's the fucking hard drive with all the music on it. It's on my attic. Go fuck yourself. You're not gonna get it. I hope it doesn't come to that, but I'm ready to do it.
all right.
Yeah.
And we can feel still anger, you know, man, in your eyes, in your thoughts.
There's anger and there's happiness, man. I mean, I have a good life, you know, but there's like, I separate it. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I'm so pissed off at some stuff, but I channel that into something creative. You know what I mean? But I have a great family that I love very much. I would die for them. You know what I mean? So that's a really positive thing. If I didn't have that, I would probably be dead. I mean that. You know, not that I want to be dead, but I probably would be because I'd be like, what the fuck am I doing here? You know what I mean? So I got good things and bad things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, that's life.
It's life.
Does this anger help you to write music? And
Yeah,
of course, it's a catharsis for a lot of artists, you know.
Yeah.
You know, to
I mean,
express,
I cannot write music when I'm angry, but that anger inspires me. I guess I'll store that away and I'll keep it as a memory. When I'm really upset, I'll just be fuming around. I'll just be like that. There's no creative force in
too much
in
pressure.
Yeah,
there's
that I just gotta wait and let it go away, and then I will be inspired by the memory of that anger, absolutely. But I cannot be creative when I'm actually really pissed off. Then I just can't do anything. I'll just fucking sit in a corner and fucking
just punch everything in your room.
Yeah, I don't really do. Yes, sometimes I actually do that, but it happens. Yeah,
Don't beat your children, please.
Of course not. No. No, my daughter is crazy, but I wouldn't beat her, dude. That's terrible. That's like after I got my daughter. When we have a son on the way. He's due to be born in June.
All right,
Yeah.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah, I'm very happy. I didn't sound happy, but I am. I'm very happy. I'm extremely happy. No, I have many great things to live for, of course. But no, I forgot the question now. But I try not to punch stuff. I mean, I did that a lot in the past. I mean, I broke a lot of stuff, a lot of equipment, furniture, all kinds of shit. But I don't like attack people or anything. I'm not like a fire guy. Everybody could beat me up, I guess. But you know, I'm not like that. I get pissed off with inanimate objects, if you know what I mean, like walls and chairs and mirrors and whatever, you know. But I try to not do that, though.
So this year for you will be full of emotions. This year, 2011, will be full of
Emotions
and
yeah, I guess so, man. I mean, June's gonna be fucking surreal. I mean, that's the birth of our son and everything. Like when Enya, my daughter, was born about 2.5 years ago, I didn't feel anything for several months because it was so weird. I was like, what is this thing? You know, it's fucking crazy. Now I totally know what it is. Because a lot of people say like, there's the magic moment is like when you have your first child. And I was like, there was no magic for me at all. This time though, I know what I'm expecting. This is magic for me. This is much better. Now I know what's coming. So that's cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
But of course, there will be not only children, music, a lot of music for you from your part.
What's that?
This year, there will be also
music and stuff.
Music.
Yeah, of course. I'm just talking about kids now.
Nah.
Rock and roll. Yeah, that's the plan. We have a lot of new music waiting. I mean, we got like 3 albums worth of material that we're just sort of waiting to get out. You know, we're working on the artwork right now and everything's. It's gonna be a couple of surprises, I would say. Like every record Mortiis makes is always different from the next one. So, and we're keeping that tradition alive. There's gonna be one album I think is gonna surprise the shit out of people, and hopefully please some of the older fans.
All right.
Yeah.
So a lot of electronics, a lot of guitars, and.
It's going to be a lot of everything. Actually, I mean, one of the albums is really guitar heavy. The next one has like almost none. So it's a little bit for everybody. It's a roller coaster. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mortiis.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hope there will be of course, a good show from your part tonight.
Early. Like,
yeah.
When is like 4 to 8 or something?
All right.
What the hell?
We're not in Norway, man.
Yeah. Fuck. We don't even go out before 11 o'clock. You know.
All right. So maybe you can travel to Paris.
It's like a matinee.
Yeah, matinee. Thank you, and have a great show, man.
Thanks.